No, I doubt anybody has found me yet. I did want to come in for a few minutes because I haven't been in for a few days. When you've been expecting. It's been a really, really busy time, and not just in any normal way. Wow, look at all that red energy. There's some kind of red energy in here. That must be the Mars. Wow, it is so red. Look at that. I don't have a red light on or anything. I didn't get a sunburn. I don't have a rash. I don't know what's going on with that, but maybe they're trying to tell us something. That seems to come in sometimes. Hi. I am D of D Ocean's Deep Woo, and I have not been on a few days. I've had some technical stuff go on. It's like my equipment is jacking up again. It's my tablet won't even turn on, which is what I normally, do the lives on. So this is my phone. Hi there, Ofty. Glad you found me. So my tablet is down. There are other things that are hinky. My phone wants to update, and I don't want to do it because I don't trust that. Because my tablet is all jacked up after the update. So I'm not sure I want to trust my phone to it. But, so I wanted to at least come in, even though it's just on my phone, for a few minutes and touch base. Say happy, looking forward to seeing you too. It's been something else. A lot of people are experiencing a lot of things. And Mama D gets called. That's the way it goes. Mama D ends up fixing a lot of things. So, and that's part of what I've been doing. I have been very busy on the other planes and with people I know. And I don't know if you all heard, but some of us, oh yes, shit is hitting the fan for sure. This is the Ocean's Deep Blue. We're not a normal show, whatever normal is for YouTube. No. I do spirituality and paranormal and all kinds of stuff. We talk about all kinds of what they call woo-woo. And we talk about it mostly in a humorous fashion. But we also talk about it very deep stuff. And I feel I have to have the humor in order to balance out the very deep stuff. So, it has been crazy, in a word. And if you thought, and we got August coming up, and if you thought that July was interesting, wait till you see August, because I am getting the biggest whoosh of weirdness. It is going to be the craziest month yet. So, July was just a teaser. Yikes. What does that mean? Well, once again, folks, a whole lot of shaking's going on. Bubbling. There's going to be more eruptions. I still think they're going to try and drive together a superstorm, which a superstorm is not a normal storm. It's something that was postulated. It could be very, very damaging for the earth. It's when a whole bunch of storms get together. I'm going to head that off if I can, and you know I'm a weather worker. If you're a weather worker, we need to head that off because there's going to be a whole bunch of storms at the same time. They're going to try and drive them together and make a superstorm. And we cannot let that happen. It's part of the game, okay? So it's the next challenge for us weather workers is that's one of the challenges, okay? We've got more. We've got a lot more of this game. We got some boss fights coming up too. Hey Adam, what's up? Oh, this stream is talking about some very woo stuff, deep, deep state, as well as spirituality, paranormal, and all kinds of things that are woo. That includes matrix theory and what have you, but we discuss it. Right now, we're doing something kind of spiritual. We're going to be getting together some intentions for August. If that's not your cup of tea, it's nice meeting you, and thank you for coming. Would you please give me a like just to help me get found by people? Oh dear, I'm sorry to hear that, James. Yeah, a lot of people are not going to be feeling well. The energies are crazy. The stuff that's going on is crazy. Our food right now is very, 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 very sketchy. What's in our food, you really have to be careful what you're eating. And the energy itself is going to make your stomach take things differently than it normally would. It's just all that energy. And look at this red. I don't have a red light on anywhere. Look at all this red energy. When I look, I'm not doing that. That's not a filter or anything. I have some channeled stuff. What do I think is the purpose of life? Well, there are a lot of purposes, actually. But I believe that we are God having a human experience, basically. So it's to have experiences. Basically. What are you going to do if you live forever? Except have experiences. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there is something else besides that. But it seems to me like if you live forever, you'd be wanting to have experiences. What else would there be to do? And so that's the way I see what we are is God decided to have some experiences and have as many different mirrors and viewpoints as possible. And that explains all this, doesn't it? So, it's my thoughts. I know there's life after death. I know it. It's a fact for me. There's no question about it, Adam. I had a near-death experience. I know many people who have. I know researchers who have regressed people to between lives, to past lives, to between lives. I remember what it was like on the other side. Many people do. I am a medium. I'm a shamanic medium. I can speak with those who have gone on. So I absolutely 100% believe there is an afterlife. And nobody can tell me any different. Nobody can tell me no bullshit at all about that. Love is why. It's no longer a question. Am I a Christian? Do I believe in Yeshua? His name was really Yeshua, you know. Because there wasn't any Hebrew going to name their kid after Zeus, which is what Jesus is. There was no J at that time anyway. But his name was Yeshua, really, historically. And do I believe in him? Yes, absolutely. He's an ascended master, in fact, and he's still around, and you can talk to him. He didn't die, or he didn't really die. I mean, nobody really dies. It's like you wake up on the other side, okay? So he is around and you can talk to him. And he'll show up. He's, you know. So am I a Christian? I think I'm probably more Christian than a lot of Christians in some respects. Just not in the same way that a lot of people think of it. So, I hope that answers your question. Uh, Yeshua's real, though. Is absolutely real. And oh, okay. But what about when Yeshua said, "Know ye not that ye are gods and sons of gods"? Yeah, he said that. Mm. He was trying to tell people. You know, there's so many times that these ascendant beings come and try to explain it, and people just cannot get it. And then they make out of it whatever they want to make out of it. And we got to allow for that. But the deeper you study down that rabbit hole, and I know many people who have, I know some people that were studying it like I was. I studied the Bible for a long time. I grew up Christian. And I studied the Bible, and then I realized there were other versions of the Bible. And I realized that King James was not the best version, really. It was a very abridged version. The Ethiopian Bible is probably the most complete Bible we have still in existence. Fortunately, we still have it in existence. And it has some books that we do not have in the current more modern Bibles. And so I really have a tendency to hold with what is in that one as being probably more accurate than what we currently have. No, you know what? I'm getting my truth from God, which is my higher self. From my higher self, who is your higher self is your connection with God. Your higher self is your connection with God. And so the spark of life that we have, we are told, it comes from God. That is the spark of life we have. We wouldn't have a life with it. What is a life? What's life? It's consciousness. What's consciousness? Consciousness is God. That's all. And see, I told you, it's very different from what most people think of when most people think of God. And is there an overarching consciousness? Yeah, I think so. But I think we're all part of that, or we wouldn't be here. What would be the point? You know, that's just the way I'm, and I've studied it for years. I mean, I really studied it. There are other people, too, who have studied it, come to the same darn conclusions. Billy Carson, for one. I mean, he came to pretty similar. There's a lot of people who have come to that pretty much same conclusion when you really study it. So that's the best I can tell you right now, as far as I know right now. Now, if I find that it's different than I think, I'll have to accept that. So, Lee from Adelaide. Well, hello there, Lee from Adelaide. Well, it is kind of obvious to anybody who's not mind controlled. Once you free your mind, it is pretty obvious. It is. It's very obvious. There's a difference between your body and your mind, obviously, and your consciousness. That's very obvious. Why? Because you can be somewhere in your mind and your body is sitting here. But you can be completely somewhere else with your mind, can't you? Your body and your mind and your consciousness, they do not necessarily exist in the same place. You, as a being, are non-local. Only your avatar is local. The avatar you're using to play this game. And that's the way I see it. I keep getting told that this... I agree with a lot of very smart people that when we really look at it, it's a matrix because the chances of us being in prime reality is very, very low. If we ever create a matrix, then the matrix will always exist. If we ever create time travel will always exist. If you think it through, you'll see what I mean by that. But that is evident, but we see we're kind of brainwashed to not be able to see any of that. But when you come out of, like I came out of life and went to another place and got some information from a teacher on the other side, very interesting. And it turned out I didn't know who it was until later. It turned out to be Thoth's wife, Seshet. Anyway, we have a whole existence outside of here. And that's pretty obvious. The problem is we've been kind of damped down. Our abilities have been damped down to where everybody has the ability to be, for instance, a medium. You could do that yourself, to prove it to yourself. And it would be evident to you if you can unburden your mind to do that. If you can get your mind properly unburdened to be able to accept the possibility that that's real, then you could actually have an experience of your own. And then you can take it or leave it. But, you know, me, it doesn't matter if you do or not. But I'll talk with you about it. We're absolutely pleased to talk about these matters and have a discussion. Do we reunite with passed on? Yeah, absolutely. Yes, we absolutely do. I certainly did. And actually, they come and visit you too, although you don't know it. Once you develop the awareness to be able to sense them, I got to tell you, they're not that far. They can hear you. When you think of them and when you talk, they can hear you. Isn't that a mind blower? So every time you talk about them, they will hear you. So if you say, hey, I miss you, they're there. You know, I have had my pets come back to me. You know, I mean, it's really interesting. So who else is in here? Yeah. Huh? You need to meditate and find your own. Yeah, meditate and find your own answers. What's that video about? Why do they feel so distant? It's not them that's distant, it's us. We're the ones who have become disconnected. And once you connect back up again, they're like right there. It's a lot of people have that experience too. I am never alone, literally. I know I am never alone. Although sometimes I feel rather lonely because this place does not feel like home, because it isn't home. It's home now, temporary home. My home is really back there. And a lot of us see the same place. Where a lot of us come from is this big university type place and a library that we go to, and in the library are the recorded history of this galaxy and even a few other ones. I I think we're quite extensive. Well, actually, it goes farther than that, yeah. And we are really going through the possibilities of the memories of the different possible versions of the histories of all of these places, but you've got to realize it's a multidimensional thing, and there's infinite versions of you living a life. So where your consciousness is where your attention is right now. You can move your consciousness to a different version of you, and people have done it, and I've done it, and end up in a different reality. And I've done it enough times that now I have Mandela effects all the time. I know that sounds really freaky and weird, but whatever. And I've learned to just not say too much about them because it scares people and they don't understand. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Mac. Aloha. Oh, hi. Hi, Gemini Moon. How you doing, sweetheart? Hi, kitty. Yep. Oh, you did? Ah? Yeah, you know who sees this stuff as hospice nurses. Hospice nurses will tell you some stories. Let me tell you, they got some stories. I'm not lying. I can talk to a hospice nurse. We agree on a lot of things. They've seen it too. It ain't just me. This is available to anyone if your mind is open enough to grasp it. But we have been mistrained, and that's the only way to put it. Mistrained and misguided. And I think that originally existed so we could play the game correctly and do the learning, have the experiences, because if we knew everything, we wouldn't be able to experience things the same. But now it is a time of the great revealing, and so we're getting ready to come out of all that. So don't be surprised if you start having different experiences. And like I said, if you're open to it, you will be able to have these experiences. It's well within the human ability to do this. Every human has this ability. It's normal. It's natural. And that's why people just randomly have these experiences. I mean, people will randomly have them. And a lot of times, I've talked to a psychologist. He said he can't even tell me how many of his patients have seen their mother or father or both at the grave. You know, at beside the casket or something. People, it happens all the time. It's not crazy, it's normal. It happens so frequently, they can't even call it abnormal at all. That's just normal. So, but if you don't, it just means you're not quite open enough to it. But you want to be careful anyway, because being too open can be a problem too. If you're too open, there are other things lurking around that you don't want anything to do with. Okay? So you want to make sure that you're in the right frame of mind, you're holding yourself in your light, and that you are asking whatever you believe in most, to be that God or, whichever version of God, because I'm saying version of God because it really is all the same source. Source is the same, I believe, but we have different versions of it. that we are in touch with and believe in. And so as long as you're safe and in that safe vibration of being in the light of that loving, all protective being, then you're going to be okay. Okay, hope that explains some stuff. Yes, that's right, Kitty. They hear you. Yeah, they're always listening. It's different there. It's just different. The abilities are different. We will have all new abilities when we get, well, not really new. I shouldn't say new. We will have our old abilities back for sure. Okay, a lady on a live claimed to be the Holy Ghost and was being attacked by demonic forces on the live. She said some pretty triggering things. What happens with people like her? Well, I didn't see that. I have gotten rid of some demonic things. I just did it recently. I'm not a Catholic priest. I don't do their form of exorcism, but I sure can get rid of some nasties. Why? Because I know who I am. And once you know who you are, I know there's a spark of God in me. I know that God is more powerful. That spark of God that is in me is more powerful. Therefore, they cannot bother me for very long. Oh, yes, sometimes they still try. There are things that still try. And I dispatch them. That still goes on. It's going to be going on a while longer. That's part of the experience here. So, yeah, what was she doing to open the door? And that's another thing. A lot of when these doors are open to negative things, a lot of it is something inside you that is triggering that. And we all have wounds, okay? From our many, many experiences, we all have wounds. And our wounds can actually be a way for things like that to get in, the lower dimensional things to get in and cause havoc. And once we start healing ourselves, it becomes harder and harder to attack us. And then bigger things try to attack you. But then you just keep growing, and then pretty soon you can just do like, you know what? I'm God. You see my friends back here, my posse? That there, that's Yeshua. He got rid of tons of you, okay? He kicked your butt. And then here's my friend over here, the angel of death, by the way, Azrael. Don't mess with me. I got a lot of friends on the other side. You know, so you're coming after me. You're asking for trouble. People have seen me do this stuff. People have seen me do crossing overs. People have screamed when I ended up talking on the phone to them, but I'm standing next to them doing a crossing over of spirits that have gotten stuck here, stuck in the machine, stuck in the illusion. And I've had some pretty wild experiences. Let me tell you, it's been really wild. It's been very enlightening to me too, because most stuff I don't even know I can do it until after I do it. It's like, can I actually do that? And then I do that, and then it's like, I guess I can. It's so weird. Oh, no, you're not going to hell. Oh, jeez. No. Doggone no. You know, do they believe? Okay, so what do they believe? Are they Christian? Do they believe? Now, my belief is maybe a little different, but if they believe that somebody named Yeshua already paid for the sins, then why is anybody going to hell? Doesn't make sense. No, that never hit me right. That never hit me right. Why do people scare you like that? To get you to behave. To get you to behave. Yes, there are scary, evil things. Yes, they can cause a lot of havoc. But what is in me is greater than the world. What is in you, if you have the spark of God in you, then you have the spark of Creator, and there is nothing greater than you. Or none of it's real at all. And if you believe that none of it's real, that's okay. I don't mind. I take as long as you need. Some people it takes a little bit longer for this all to gel. That's okay. Takes more study, more experience. It's okay. We got time. Yeah, Mac, it's rough. It's rough, Mac. And people who do that, who preach fire and brimstone, they do a lot of damage. They do a lot of damage. I don't like it. Hey, it's their right. It's their right for people to believe in that. But I think they do more damage than they save people. Save people. They call that saving people, putting that in their mind that they're going to some kind of hell. Is that saving somebody? Your consciousness, your state of consciousness, determines where you are in any minute. If, and I have crossed over enough people who are afraid of going to hell, they get stuck here, which is a kind of hell. If you don't have a body, if you're disembodied and you get stuck here and don't go on, that can be a kind of hell in itself. It's very unpleasant for most of them, which is why I do crossing overs all the time, is because people get stuck. People are afraid of hell. I think it's one of the most, well, I think it's horrible, really. Telling people that, making them afraid to go on home with their families. It's horrible. Yes, you will get a review. The review, you will review your life. And if you've done a lot of nasty things, that might be kind of unpleasant. I can see where that might be very unpleasant, reviewing your life if you have been a really nasty person. But that isn't the same as what they tell you hell is. Hell is entirely, and the thing is, people created hell. God, there is nowhere in the Bible where God created hell. It never says. It talks about God's creations, but nowhere does it ever say God created hell. So who created hell? Not God. Doesn't that explain a lot? Who created hell? Not God. But humans have that spark of creator. Humans can create vibrations. If you ask me, humans created hell. With their miscreation abilities. So I'm so glad to help you, and yeah, I do that. There's a reason people come here. And please, if you cannot vibe with this, you can keep on scrolling. We'll love you just the same. But if you do me the favor of giving me a like and and if you do like it, subscribe. That would be really nice. It would be helpful to help more people like you who like this type of thing to find us. And for a lot of people, we're almost like a support group. So, but, it's like once you've done some of the stuff that I've done, there is absolutely nobody who is going to be able to tell you any different because you've experienced it. And there's a difference between experiencing and just talking about something. So, I'm so glad. I am so glad. Yes. And let us all send Mac some love because I know you need it right now. They feel so far away. I know. To me, too. But you know what? You can talk to them. And you don't know. Maybe if you get yourself into the proper frame of mind, maybe you'll be able to talk to them. Maybe you'll be able to hear them when they answer. But many times they talk to us in ways that are not language. Many times you'll hear thoughts in your head. You'll think of them. Maybe you'll hear their favorite song in your head. Maybe you'll smell a smell. These are part of the clair attributes of being human. Clairvoyant, which means clear seeing. Clair, I believe they call it salient, something like that. First, you can smell odors. Like some people will smell roses when certain beings are around. A lot of times when Mary shows up, when Miriam from Jesus' time, Yeshua's time, shows up, Mary is associated with the scent of roses. Your sister's right there. Just talk to her. Talk to her and tell her everything that you want to tell her. Don't talk out loud if you're afraid that somebody's going to think you're nuts. You can tell her in your head. She'll be able to hear you. Just picture her and she'll be able to hear you. Thank you, Timoth, man. Claire, yeah. There's all kinds of clairs. There are all kinds of abilities. We have more than 5 senses of the spirit. Your spirit has more than 5 senses. We only supposedly have 5 senses here in this realm. I will call it a realm. But the spirit has many more senses than that. Much more detailed. And can sense things in ways that the body hasn't even a chance to do. So the body has its own wisdom. And Timoth, man, we don't see you over here too much. How you doing? I don't know if you've been here before, but I remember you're from, we used to see you over on another show. I don't remember which one, but we used to see you somewhere else. When it comes to people who have passed over, almost always, if they have gone on and gone home, they're happy, they're fine. Nobody's suffering. The ones that are generally suffering are the ones that get stuck here. Generally, if they're suffering, they're stuck here. Just a rule of thumb. So if I meet a suffering being, they're probably stuck. And then they may think they're in hell because this can be a very, very unpleasant place without a body. And in the realm that they're in the kind of between realm that they're in, things get very distorted. And they will tend to re-experience whatever caused their death. And it'll be kind of like a Groundhog Day. I get reports of that all the time. And people reliving their death. And that is the construct trying to eject them back home, eject them from the game, so to speak, to go home. But somehow they're not going. They're stuck. So one of the things that I do is I go around unsticking things. That's one of my gifts, is that I can unstick them and unstick the exits so that they open freely again. I know that's hard to imagine, maybe from where you're at, but the place has doorways. The place has doorways and gateways. And sometimes you gotta sometimes it's the people themselves that have kind of stuck themselves out of fear. I can't tell you how many people have been afraid to go on because they're afraid of hell. They're afraid they're going to get punished. They're afraid they're going to be damned forever. And it's like when I tell them, hey, I've been dead, I'll tell you about it a little if you want. And they're usually surprised I can see them. And they're usually surprised by all that. But I said, hey, what do you feel? What are you feeling? They usually feel a sense of relief that I'm around. Why? Because that's the vibe. The vibe I give them is hopeful. There's a hopefulness. So usually they listen. And so I have helped many, 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 many people. I have done group crossing overs where many people in an area, and when many people become stuck in an area, the area becomes sickened. Ah, she overdosed. Okay, I will tell you what happens to people who die like that. People who die like that end up going to what we would think of as a spirit hospital. There are special places where they are received gently and helped to heal from that experience enough to go on. Chances are she is in one of those locations. She'll be able to visit you when she is feeling better. People get very confused when they're here. And they also get very confused when they die. Some of them don't even know they died. I have had to cross over people who didn't know they were dead. Something happens real suddenly and they don't believe they're dead. And I remember one woman, I said, you're out here in your bare feet. There's snow on the ground. Are you cold? And she said, no. That is odd. And I said, you're not cold because you're not physical anymore. And then she got very upset. And I had to explain to her that somehow or other she died. And that she was no longer physical. But the good news is, her family's waiting for her on the other side. So do you want to go home? And she finally decided yes. And then we got her home. Usually an angel or one of your relatives will come, whatever is the most comforting to you. For some people, it will be Yeshua. For some people, it will be a relative. It just depends. It's individual. Oh, we used to chat on SOR. Oh, yeah, okay. She is okay. She's going to be okay. If you would like, um, I'm sure. If you would like, I will put in a word. I will see if I can, hang on. I'm getting that she is only semi-awake there. She was definitely in an altered state. She is being cared for, though. She's going to be okay. She just needs some time. She will come visit you. I wanted to check because I wanted to make sure she's not stuck. She's not stuck, is she? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, we've got her. Don't worry. She's being taken care of. Keep a good thought. Think good thoughts. Think of her healing and feeling better. Being safe and being well over on the other side. That'll help. The energy of that, your consciousness, sending that will help her. Eventually, I think she'll be in touch with you. Yeah, it's always somebody comforting. It's always whoever is the most comforting to them. Whether that's their mom or dad who's gone on, or maybe it's, sometimes it's even one of their pets. Depends. Sometimes it's all of that. Well, that's one of the reasons I do this show. It's one of the reasons I do all this that I do. Is it's not for everybody, but it is for people like you. One of the types of people that really need this is people who are grieving. A lot of us have had experiences. We can tell you, we can help you with that. We can help you understand this. It is time of the great revealing. We need to have people understanding what's going on, really, what's really happening here. We need it. Your dad's dog, see, that's what I mean. Your dad's dog came for him. Yeah, so thank you. Hey, Desert Rose. How are you doing, sweetheart? On 4-4. Wow. Yeah. You're welcome, Mac. See, this kind of thing brings me joy. I really take great joy in helping people. It really makes me happy when I can help someone. And ease their mind a little, because grief is horrible. I've been through enough of it. It's horrible. It really is one hard human experience. There is no grief on the other side, though. There's no pain either. Once you get there, there's no more pain, no grief, and no fear. It's just love. And there isn't somebody judging you in some scary way. No, but you will judge yourself. You will see what you have done. They'll rerun what you've done. They'll review it. That's what the review is. And many, many people have seen the review. You know, even when they've died temporarily, they've seen the review. If you would like more information, look up Dolores Cannon. She is a researcher who interviewed people who did many regressions. And she started out by doing past this life. But then she realized that she was getting stories of between lives and previous lives and lives on other planets and all kinds of things. And she's like, what? And this really sparked her interest. And so once she went down this rabbit hole, there was no turning back. And she found out that all of this stuff that we're told isn't real and doesn't exist, it's 100% real and exists. And everybody on the other side knows it. We're the ones who are ignorant. Imagine that, right? Like I said, I think originally it was so we could have experiences here. If we knew everything, we wouldn't be able to play the game the same way, is what I'm told. Yeah, but Dolores Cannon, she's usually right on the money most of the time. Yes, and you're free. In death, you're freed. Your body goes back to the earth, and you know is reabsorbed into this realm, and your spirit goes on into higher realms and is reunited with loved ones. And now since time is speeding up, we are having life reviews in life. We are no longer waiting for death to have our life reviews. Many times we will start having reviews in life. And many people have reported that. So this is not unusual. Now this is the new way that things are being handled. So if that happens, if you start suddenly going back through your whole life, or various I really have a theory that as you're going back through instances with other people, they're hitting their review too. They're having their review of that as well. So you're probably both having that review. Remember, this happens outside of time. Once you get outside of time, all bets are off. All kinds of things are possible that you never dreamed. So you can both be re-experiencing that stuff together at completely what we would consider to be completely different times. I know, that's weird, isn't it? Isn't that so weird? It took me a while to figure it out too. Yeah. I mean, you really have to think through some of this stuff. It's like, but I got so much help from my guidance. I have some very, very good guides that have been so helpful to me in figuring all this out. But it took me a long time to trust. I was not a trusting person. I really wasn't. I saw a lot of very dark things when I was young. I really did. So I am coming from that background. I saw some things that really scare the living daylights out of you. But it doesn't scare me anymore, because I know who I am. I don't know, I haven't seen them. I haven't been out at night. But my dreams have been crazy, off the hook. When I have them, when I remember them, they've been all crazy. Okay? So I know I'm busy. I'm a busy girl in my sleep. I'm doing a lot of stuff. See, I'm one of those people that when I sleep and when I dream, I'm off on missions. And actually, sometimes I even see on the news where I was, where I dreamed about. Sometimes I'll literally hear the story on the news. That was to let me know that it was really happening, because I was wondering, is this really happening? You know? I mean, you really got to ask yourself some questions when all this stuff starts going on, right, folks? Hey, Sandra! How you doing? Yeah, I can't remember most of mine either, and you know what? I have a feeling that if you're not remembering them, maybe they would be too upsetting for you if you did. Maybe you're off doing something that would really upset you, because really they let me see some of the things and it was quite upsetting. I mean, not that I was in any danger, but the people that I was helping were in terrible danger. And some very sad things, some things you don't really want in your mind. So I said, well, I want to know what I'm doing. And then, so I had some instances where they let me, okay, fine, we'll let you see. And then it was like, oh, okay, that's okay, you're right. I don't need that on my mind in my wakeful hours. You're right, I don't need to remember that. It's enough that I'm doing my job. Thank you. Yes. Wow. Probably, Lewis. I mean, we get assignments in our sleep. Honestly, I'm not kidding. We're off on assignment in our sleep a lot of times. We're badasses. We go around the universe doing this kind of thing. We don't just stay here. This is just part of the job. Hey, Woo Riders. Yeah, see, that kind of thing, Sandra. I have been inside people who have died. I've been right with them and experienced their death. Who wants to remember that? Some of this stuff. Maybe you don't want to remember it. Maybe for your own good, you're not remembering. However, there can be other reasons. We have found other reasons for that. YouTube is blocking what you're trying to say. Interesting. Yeah, it has been very shady. Very shady. And I'll make a comment, it won't show up. Really? Interesting. Lewis. Well, at least it sounds like you're having fun. Some kind of fun. But we have other jobs while we sleep. We literally lead a double life. Hey, but people have talked about that. There's been people who have talked about this before. These dreams go on when I close my eyes. Every second of the night, I lead a double life. What? What? Was trying an experiment when you went to Wayne's? I forgot about Wayne's again. It's at 1 o'clock. I gotta get there eventually. Again, gotta get over to Wayne's. So how you doing otherwise, Derek? Yeah, I certainly have no interest in the elevator game. I got enough. My life is lively enough without any of that. Yeah. Well, my dear friends, during this Lion's Gate, we're coming into an 8 vibration, which is the month of August. And we are coming into a Lion's Gate and also a Mercury retrograde. It's going to be exceptionally powerful. I really advise people to pay attention. Don't get yourself into anything. Make your plans before the retrograde. But during the retrograde, be careful what you sign, be careful what you do, be careful spending money of any kind. Just be careful, because it's going to be a wild, wild month, and there are going to be some tricks and traps, because the powers that were really, 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 really on the job. Screwing up, though. Fortunately, remember I told you the big brains are gone. All that's left is the stooges. So they can't string a good plan together perfectly anymore. They can't do it. It's not going to work anymore. They just don't have the brain power. They don't have what it takes to get the job done anymore. They left. And left their minions here to try and survive. And as you can see, what has it become? A complete freaking clown world. And the illusion is pretty damn thin, right? There's still some people denying it, but it's very thin. You're going to crotchet you up a dress. Ooh. I'm going to put this on. I'm going to do me some Palarnin with my plastic yarn. I'm going to do some more Palarnin. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they think that they're screwing us up. Oh, really? Oh, homemade chicken wings. That is a good way to recycle. That's what I love about it. It's one of the great ways to recycle. Floss. Go floss. Oh, okay. You finished your bikini bottoms. You bitch, you bitch, you bitch, you bitch. I can't wear a bikini yet. Or I wouldn't feel right in a bikini yet. I wouldn't quite feel right wearing a bikini yet. Maybe someday. I never did wear a bikini, though. I always preferred a one-piece suit, actually. It just felt more secure. I never really liked the feeling, but anyway. Didn't feel like having dinner. Yeah, you know what? Don't be surprised if you find that you're going to have different taste or maybe lose your appetite. You're going to need to take care. One of the advices for this month is nurture yourself. A lot of people have been getting that message. Nurture yourself. Whatever it is you feel like you need to do, do that. You're going to need the energy to get through this. It's really going to be something. Thank you, Sandra. Derek, you're sweet. Ooh, pretty cool. Wow. Well, good for you, Hook. Look at you. I am trying, but I don't know if I am or not. It's hard. I don't know. I gotta go. I don't have a scale, so I don't know. I might be. I am wearing smaller sizes than I used to. I can get into a smaller size. So I guess I'm losing weight more again. I've already lost 37 pounds. And here is Mr. Wonderful. Here's Mr. Wonderful showing off the fact that he is a Manx. There, no tail. Yep, he's very proud of it, as you can see. See? No tail. I'm a Manx. Show him your face. Show him your pretty face. Come here. Look in there. People want to see your face. They don't care that much about your butt. They've seen your butt. There's your face. There you go. Mr. Purrs. He's got such a comfortable little place here. I put in the wedge pillow here so that there's no gap, and he uses it like a little pillow for his head. And between my pillow and that, he has such a nice little place to lounge and sleep. He sleeps right up by my head, and he likes that. He likes to be right up by me. There he is, Mr. Purr. Mr. Love. He's just a loving little baby boy. Look up here, baby. Look over here. They want to see your face. There. Yeah, we gotta have a moment with the kitty cake. He's my little co-host. Yes. Aww. I'm sure your little kitty is right there. I'm sure she'll come back and visit. Yeah, he's my baby. Oh. Yeah. For being so small, they sure do take up a big place in your heart, don't they? For being so little, they take a great big place in your heart because they're so sweet. They're so loving. You're there like, my gosh, I need love. I do. Yeah. We need love. Sometimes humans are kind of stingy. Sometimes humans are very stingy with their love. Well, I feel good. We really got to help somebody tonight. Mac was helped. I feel better. I did an exorcism. I did a healing. This week I've done some crossing overs. I've been a busy girl. That's why I haven't been on. I've just been so busy and tired in between because I'm also unpacking all these boxes and stuff. I'm unpacking my life, 30 years of life. Let me tell you, it's quite an experience trying to make sense of it all and get it all into where it needs to go. Thank you. Mm-hmm. You do? Cool. Those are such cute names. Yeah. Oh, isn't that great? When they roll over, roll their belly up to be stroked, their belly stroked and purr. That's the best time of day, isn't it? Yeah, that's my favorite. When he rolls that little marshmallow belly up, that little fluffy belly, and purrs, and he wants his belly rubbed. That's the best time of the day. Does your pug talk like the one from Men in Black? Lewis, you're something else. You gotta watch Lewis. He's a cut up. Um, we got a sense of humor around here. I don't think it pays to be too serious. I think it's wrong. Well, not exactly wrong, but it just ain't helpful. Being too serious, it's just not helpful. It ain't helping you, really. You know what I thought we might do tonight? This is going to be a good time for manifestation. So I thought maybe one of the things we could do is write down some things we want to manifest. I'll go back here a ways. Let's make a list, if you want to. She smelled like cotton candy. Aw. Now whenever you smell cotton candy, you'll be thinking of her. Buying a motion sensor cat ball for ghost busting. Oh, interesting. Oh dear. Yeah, kitty. Well. Shoot. I dropped my pendulum down there. I dropped my pendulum. Darn. It's going to have to stay there for a while. I don't have my grabber. I don't want to stop the stream for right now. Okay. Paintball gun and a bright flame. Getting cray-cray in Vegas. I don't use mainstream toothpaste ever. I use Bio Repair, period. That's all. It has hydroxyapatite. repaired my teeth, the pain. I have no pain now. I had aching teeth all the time. I'm sensitive. I don't have it anymore. BioRepair. You can get it off Amazon. It's a foreign product. Right now, hydroxyapatite in toothpaste is mostly foreign. They won't use it here because it's too effective and it works. Put a lot of dentists out of business. What if anybody, it's one of the things I'm in here to say. If you live near a fault line, get out of there. It's going to be rocking and rolling. To Mouse Man, if you can get on Amazon, you can get different toothpaste. Yeah. There's all kinds of stuff you can get off Amazon. BioRepair has hydroxyapatite. It'll seal the cracks in your teeth, which will also fix it so you don't ache anymore. Hydroxyapatite is close to what your teeth are made of, so it will seal all of the micro cracks that you've developed in your teeth. And then you won't have any more pain from that. Oh my gosh, Tomas, man. South Carolina. Yikes. Your cat could teleport to the cat. Yeah, cats can move really fast. Even him. It's amazing. They're just a puff of smoke. They're like hypersonic or something when they need to be. Usually it's between $8 and $10 a tube, but it lasts a long time. You just used a pea-sized amount. Just a pea-sized amount. It lasts a long time. And I get a 2-pack, and that way I get 2-pack. I get free wrap. No, I get a 2-pack of BioRepair, and so it lasts a long, long time. But I usually end up splitting it with my helper, who also uses it because her teeth used to hurt, and now they don't. I have helped a lot of people with that. That's another thing. I've helped people with some of their health stuff. Although I'm not attempting to diagnose or treat anything. But I can tell you from experience some things. Yeah. Oh my God, Hook, get the fuck out. I'm sorry. Hey, Jackie. Yeah, the other thing is, I have to tell you, and I really wonder sometimes, if my telling people this all over the place didn't inspire something like Lumi, because Lumi gets rid of bacteria, that's how it gets rid of odor. Let me tell you, bacteria cause odor. If you have body odor, that's more than just very light or a lot of sweating, in certain areas, and very bad body odor, you've got an infection. And it's caused by bad deodorant. You're better off cleaning regularly, pretty often, with something like Silver soap. You're better off healing up that infection, and you can do it. I have got to say, I just recently tried Silver soap, silver impregnated soap. Once again, it's not cheap, but you can get a 3-pack, which will make it cheaper. but I forget what kind of silver soap it is, but you can get it off Amazon again. And if you can get rid of your infection, you can get rid of most of your odor. Bacteria cause most of the odor. So I have gotten many, many people better from that problem. Mm-hmm. You're going with your yarn and swishing with coconut oil with your yarn? Yeah, coconut oil's another really good thing. Tea tree soap, yeah, that's another good thing. Bio repair. Bio repair. Works great. And the silver soap, silver is antibacterial, antifungal, and all that. So there's colloidal silver in the soap, and the silver soap is great. It's very, very nice. Has coconut oil in it. The kind I got is coconut oil in with the silver. Very nice. Lather. Oh, it feels so good. It's very silky. Makes your skin feel very silky. Coconut oil lather there's nothing like coconut oil lather. Right, right. The peroxide flush, that's right. Yeah, alcohol is a little harsh. No, it does not have fluoride in it, and anything that has fluoride in it you should get rid of. Fluoride can actually damage. And they'll say bullshit, they'll tell you bullshit all day long. But fluoride is poison, as well as it can actually damage your teeth. Don't believe a lot of bullshit. When was the last time they gave us something that worked right? It may work for a little while, but then turns around and kills people, or harms people, or does something awful. I mean, it's just don't trust. Do research. Find some good, solid research. In other countries, they know these things. In other countries, they use hydroxyapatite. It's what they use. They don't use fluoride. Wouldn't think of it. Silver is great, yeah. It leaves a black edge on the plaque. Really? I never saw that. It might be. Acid will turn it black, will turn silver black. So it might be due to something acidic. Oh, you're welcome. It's another thing we do on this show is we tell the truth. I mean, about some of these products. My teeth used to be perfect. And then Portage Dental got involved, and then they totally ruined them. And I have been trying to get them repaired ever since, and I'm still looking to find a dentist that's going to do them right. It's very expensive of what I'm going to need done. So that's one of the things I'm going to manifest is the right dentist to do the job and a way to be able to get that done, my teeth done. Mm-hmm. My advice, or what I've been instructed, and other people are getting this too, is write down. It's a big time for manifestation. Write down what you want to accomplish, what you want to manifest. It will help if you write it and look at it, first thing in the morning or something. Last thing at night. This is what you want to accomplish. It's what you want to manifest. Mm-hmm. I had great teeth at one point. Well, actually, it was farther back than that. I had a dentist who put these great big fillings in when I was younger, and when they started to fall out, oh my God, it was so painful. I live with pain all the time. Med beds, that's right. When are those med beds coming online? Supposedly we're going to have those. I'm told that we are going to have those. I'm going to have those in this life. We're going to have them in this life. It's not for the next life or something. It's going to be this. But not right away, unfortunately. Once again, biorepair will help keep your teeth from crumbling. It'll fix the cracks. It'll help keep them together. That's the problem, is you get all these micro cracks in your teeth, and then stuff gets in there, and bacteria and what have you. Very nasty. Yeah, we need to manifest it, get it going. Really get it going a little faster, and disclosure. I really think Trump will bring disclosure. I really think that's one of the things he's going to end up doing. Right now, though, it looks like a freaking circus. It's going to look very scary. Right now, we've got them pumping a whole bunch of money into commie. La 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 la. Yeah, and I'm there like, oh God, they want everybody to forget the last 4 years. Are we going to forget the last 4 years, folks? You know what? Is this, and I've thought to myself, is this a test? Do they want to see how much they can gaslight people? Because they're gaslighting people about her and about the regime for the last few years. And they're gaslighting, and they're backing up, and they say, oh, she was never border czar. Shit like that. I'm like, yeah, well, wait, huh? Well, no, we remember that. What do they think? We're going to believe it's a Mandela effect or something? This was all just a fever dream? Was a Mandela effect? The commie was a border czar, commie la la la. And the wheels on the bus go round and round. Yeah, I know. The wheels on the bus go round and round. The wheels in her head go round and round. And round and round and round. I tell you, I can't listen to her talk too much. I start to lose brain cells. I got to grow them back then after that. Yeah, Sleepy Joe gave her that job, but now they're trying to say, oh no, that was never really a thing. That wasn't official. No, she was never border czar. Bullshit, she wasn't. I remember it, and you remember it. Now they're trying to scrub that. Once again, it's gaslighting. You didn't see it. Nope. They're starting to delete things. They're starting to delete things. Put them down the memory hole. On YouTube, there are people that are complaining of that some things that they were looking at got deleted right in front of their face by YouTube. So be careful. Careful how you ask. You might want to go incognito as opposed to incognito. Yeah, vote. The only thing is, it's really the Electoral College that votes for the president. We vote for them. We tell them how they should vote, but they're not beholden to vote that way. That's why there's popular vote and the vote. And a lot of times they disagree. Yeah, Google's busy rewriting history. Yep. Yeah, prepping. Yeah, I know, me too. You can't hardly help but be a prepper if you're awake, right? It's like, yeah, I better get some extra water stored and food and something to light a fire with and something to keep warm with, and yeah, maybe make a bug out bag. Please, people, if you're on a fault line, start to get yourselves out of there. It's going to be very dicey because I'm seeing a whole lot of shaking. I'm seeing eruptions, and I'm seeing big, big freaking storms. Now, we can handle the big freaking storms, okay? Make no mistake, the weather workers can do that. So, but we got to keep ahead of it. One day the deserts are going to be green again. But first they're going to flood. The deserts, I've seen it. The deserts will be flooding. But then the deserts will start to become green again. But in that interim period, not going to be pleasant. There'll be a lot of things that'll be trying to get away from the water. Oh, just do your protections and I know. Some people, they can't just up and move. I know. Yes, hurricanes can be lessened too. All storms, we can talk to them, we can reason with them. Actually, they have personalities. That's why they're named. See, they name them. They kind of tell us, you know? Who, whoever came up with that convention of naming them, they knew they have personalities. And that sounds crazy, right? Storm can't have a personality. How can that be? It is a field of energy. It has personality, trust me. Los Niños have a personality. Okay, the Niñas have a personality. I'm telling you, they do. I've talked to them. The clouds do, the storms do. That's why they have names. Yeah, glyphosate is horrible. Well, see, that's what I'm going to talk to you about. There is this modality that a guy worked on. It's called quantum leaping. It's a lot like quantum jumping. But instead of like the TV show where he's randomly jumping into people's bodies and whatever, this is where you find your counterpart who is living the life that you want to live, and you ask them how they did it. And you find out from them what steps they took to get it like that. And then you can transform into that. Okay? Your other selves, yes. You have an infinite amount of other selves who took a zig when you took a zag. So you ask them which zigs that they took, and they'll tell you. There's a guy who did that got did very well for himself doing that. He learned how to do all kinds of things: photograph, paint, learned photography, he learned art, he learned all kinds of things from how to make money, all kinds of things from his other selves that he got in contact with. Now, what I'm proposing and what I've been told, okay, Jackie, we'll go into that a little bit, but what I am being told, what is coming to me now, is an upgrade of that. Somewhere, there is a version of you in this infinitude of versions. This is why nothing is impossible. Maybe a little unlikely, or a lot unlikely, but not impossible. There are millions of versions of you who did things a little bit differently, or maybe a lot differently, and now they're leading your ideal life, the one that you wish you could have. We can become that person. We can slide into that consciousness. This is what I'm being told. If you write down a list of the way you want your life to be, this is what I'm being told, and you know exactly what you want, you can end up interfacing with the probabilities. I'm going to call it a probability zone realm, probability situation, whatever you want to call it, where that version of you exists that has all that stuff that you want to have. And it's already got it like that. That already exists somewhere. Because everything already exists somewhere. Okay? So if you can get it, and if at first you don't succeed, you can do it again. You can do this again. You can keep doing this. You can keep working on this until you get it down. But somewhere, there is a version of you that has it just exactly the way you want it. And if you can find that version of you, you can slide into that life. It'll look like you're bringing it to you, but actually you're sliding into it. Now, this guy, and I've forgotten his name, it was a long time I ran into it. He learns off of his other selves and applies it to here. And that's very good. And you can do that, and maybe you can start with that if that's an easier concept. But I'm told we can go farther than that, way farther. We can actually start to slide into those other probabilities, other timelines where we have it like that. That's why when we want something, we act like we've already got it. We say we've already got it. Like instead of saying, I want whatever, say, I have this. I am a multimillionaire somewhere in a really nice house in a nice eco village with a lot of really nice people that I get along really well with. There's no clown world there. The people that we have taking care of things are very sane and intelligent and nice people that have our best interest at heart. My life is very beautiful there. I can take a dip in the nice clean ocean, or I can relax in my hot tub, or I can read down in my beautiful underground area that I have in my home. It's nice and cool all the time. It's a nice constant 50 some degrees. So I don't need air conditioning. We've got the whole off-grid thing worked out. She's her exact right weight, her exact right state of health. She's got optimum health, optimum everything. The food is all organic and delicious. All of that. We can slide into that reality. We can just kind of slip into it. And that's part of what the manifesting is. And that's what I'm bringing to you tonight. It's a very important concept. I may have to write a book about it, but I don't know quite what to call it yet. I may call it Slide into Home. Interesting. But how do we get in touch with it? First of all, we figure out which one of us we want to get in touch with. Which probability do we need? Make no mistake, in the Akashic Library, all things exist. All probabilities exist. It's already recorded somewhere. Therefore, all we need is the coordinates. How do we get the coordinates? I think what I'm hearing is how we would find anything. What would the search terms be? Remember, it's a bit like a library, right? You remember a library, or it's a bit like a search engine. If we get the right search terms, we should be able to find it. Think about it. Our technology physically here mirrors the greater technology in some ways. How do we do it here? How do we find things? So what are you doing when you're writing these affirmations down? You're coming up with the appropriate search terms. That's what you're doing. Now, if you only come up with one or two at a time, then you're going to come up with a rather limited number of things, I would guess. If you broaden that out, you're going to get more specific, though. You're going to get more specific with the particular life, with where that is stored. That's what it looks like. It looks like we have to approach this as if we're searching online for something specific. If we want a specific thing, you can do it one at a time. You can say, well, first I want a life where I got it like this. Where I got this. I got $5 million out of the blue, tax-free. And it's like, okay, so you're searching for that life. Now, what I'm wondering is, are there different search engines? And are some of them corrupt? I don't know yet. Because as you know, you search in some search engines, you're going to get very, very different information than others. Google is very different from DuckDuckGo. Have the powers that were installed? Well, you know they have. Of course they have. Of course they have. Of course they've censored the search engines. You know what I mean. We got to find the right search engine, the independent one. Maybe that's it. If you find the uncorrupted search engine, maybe we can think of it like that. Because it's a concept that's really beyond this realm. But that's probably as close as we're going to get to being able to describe what I'm seeing. Yeah. So actually, it's not like you're creating anything new. It's more like you're going to where it already exists. That's what I'm saying. And the way you do it is by applying the correct search terms. Yes. Yes, it is, Jackie. You know what, Hook? October is going to be a big month. There are going to be some crazy shit going on, I can tell you that. I know October is coming up as a woo, 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 woo for a lot of people. Big changes. I'm not afraid of it, though. However, yeah, you should prepare. Be prepared for anything. Yes. Yes, we can flip it. We can decide. Once again, we're learning to drive this frickin' matrix, which is our matrix. We can drive this big behemoth here of a matrix if we so choose. We just have to learn to do that again, because we used to know how to do that before we forgot. We can drive this thing where we want to go, okay, to whatever experiences we want to have. What? Oh, here we go again. Yeah. Yeah, let's flip it so that it's not bad. Wait, here we go. Oh, here they come. I'm hearing them. The ringing. Chirping. Ringing. Almost like singing. Tones. Okay. So you're getting in touch. Who's getting in touch? So you're here to help us with this. Do we need to do Okay. Okay. Yeah, get your popcorn. It's gonna be a heck of a show. Hey, angel wings. Hey. Yeah, something's coming up because I'm hearing all of the stuff that comes before they do a channeling through. Probably speak in tongues in a moment or so. Yeah, I will. Okay, get ready. Get ready to receive this message. Chloe isn't here, so can somebody open their mind to interpret this because I probably won't remember it. Ay, to ko. Fada ka no, but go mantigits fatan to go about. Ikampara posko shkod matikarara. Apana bay rikara kung ngunit barikara chikinig mo dito kororiam. Ikan poro paria poro. Abadi ako o perikan birikis kono mara. Ifara bara bayan mara skor manera. Ifaram nang kirikara bring korori bread kiri da skor mariana. Abara kono korovin ka bari kam paria berkitiam or forara. Abara gambo era mori era ma beria ma pare era ma pa. Forme di kete karago per kare mrigini abat ko bar mediana. Ngala mbaro jara. Pro ani bara. Ora aria bara. Ya. Gregori skonot bet kare fora vorria skonot preo. Mbo patite pa korikka. Fora menik. Fora menik pre skor maria ra kon bora. Fora mara ri ko na ri ko bari ri ri per ko para ka. Fora Pari manika. Pari magrikia po. I got her on Poria. For a benamiki. Ah, Bario. Porra. We hear over a prayer. Over Magia, but whatever that. If you didn't be had a barrier. Minetta clothes or if any him, Puru. You photo a fool, a cock or barriera. Barium. Okay. I think they might want to say a little bit more, but I think that there, as far as what I'm getting, is they're very happy with. Once again, they're commending us for how far we've come. We've come quite a ways. There's more to do. There was a blessing in there. There was a blessing, an expression of. They were kind of cheerleading there. They were kind of cheering us on. And there's this idea or this feeling of strengthening us. So like we're being strengthened. Yes, we are on the right track. Yes, we are headed in the right direction. Yes, we are going to be helped. Our family is around us. Our family is going to make sure we make it through this and complete our mission. Yes. Into ko para kan kitikam poro barira. Ifarmano kero kan gino skar mambariga po for vira maniara. Make our corporium. Ifaramagdia, Warapadat, Ikatabarara, Abarigana Karawanigina Badaya, for a Marigarikan Burra, Pram the Hariara, Yakabondo Bariara, I get for what you bring it up, but Bariara was Buria. Bra, Baria, Wara. Ikam Bororo Yana Gara. If I already took the money out of him, he get out of Varamarika Paramupora. What up, Paraparina? Get about it. Whoa! Okay. I came back just as my screen was saying reconnecting. Maybe that was part of the message. Reconnecting. New abilities coming. Cool. Being true to yourself is the key. That sounds right too. Yeah. So they're backing us up. They're letting us know they're backing us up. They're with us. We're on the right track. We're going to get there. They're going to look after us as best they can. And they can do pretty darn well, okay? They got quite a lot at their disposal. So do we. We're going to be fine. If you cannot get out of the area, keep your vibration high. Maybe you will be in that area to stabilize that area. Maybe you'll be there to render assistance in that area. You heard something from that too. Cool, Mac. What did you hear? You already have the answers. Yes. Yeah, that's a yes. That's a definite. Hook, you're really picking up on this. Yeah, if you're meant to leave, you'll be given the way to leave. If you can't leave, then there'll be some way that you will be needed where you are. You'll be protected somehow. But if you get a strong message to leave, because I used to think I couldn't leave the place that I was. But actually, I just wasn't looking at it right. Usually, there is a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. You just got to open your mind and ask. You got to start asking people for what you need. It's a very good job, Hook. Their souls signed up to take on the assignment of establishing peace. Oh, that is a very good one, Mac. Wonderful. Yes, there are, and that is true. I know that is true, too. Yes, that is how you interpret all of this. You cannot interpret it on a mental level. You must interpret it with your heart. You must feel the message. You must read the energy. And this is what they teach us, what they've been teaching us, to keep us safe, to keep us on track, as we must learn to read the energy, to feel the energy, to use the other parts of us that are not our reasoning, They're not our left brain, as they say. The other parts are better at interpreting energetic events. That's why we have that structure. That is our original communication, is with our hearts. We developed speech for other reasons, but it's a vibration, it's a rhythm, and it's really more about the vibration and the rhythm than it is actually the words even. The energy cannot be recreated in other words. Yeah, you know, a lot of people's spirit purpose, spiritual venture, spiritual mission starts with the pain of loss, of losing a loved one. And your loved one, you know, I have a feeling when she is better, she might be coming to help you. Yeah. Well, knowledge is power. Power ain't cheap. We come here for experience. To have experiences. So, are you done, or shall I prepare for more? For now, they are done. Good, okay. Thank you very much. That being was Lyran. Well, Mac, that's very interesting. You know, star seeds have it rough here. It's such a grueling thing. I know many that turn to drugs, turn to drink, self-destructive things, because it's harsh here. And they don't really want to be here. There are a lot of us that don't want to be here. Thank you. Part of the Council of Nine, yeah. I think the Lyrans are part. Well, I've been dealing with the Council of Nine for a long, long time. So I feel very confident we're going to get through this. We're going to accomplish our missions, and we're going to be much better off. Yeah, you're feeling the Lyrans, right? It is the Lion's Gate, after all. Okay, Lyrans, my dear beloved family, I'm sending you so much love. I'm sending you so much love. I miss you. And I long to be with you, but at the same time, I know I'm supposed to be here. But sometimes I do get lonely for you. They are so loving. They send so much love. Yeah. Yeah, the cats and dogs are going to be showing up in your dreams probably because that's the Lyran influence. And when they come here as cats and dogs, they're here to be our guardians and protectors, and helpers, help us get over our grief, help us through our daily trials. This is why dogs are such service-oriented beings. Cats are too in their own way, though. You know that? It's weird. Cats are just different. But they can be very service-oriented as well. My cats always wanted to take care of Mommy. I mean, I've had my cats do healings on me. So, our dogs and cats are here to help us. That's right, the bear people. They're important too. Well, they're here. By the way, physically, their ships are in our skies right now. Some of us will see them. Don't be surprised. Some of you will see their ships in the sky. And when you do, you'll know. You'll get a feeling. Undomesticated. Yes, being undomesticated is valuable. If you are not domesticated, you do have different ways of seeing things. Yes. Well, see, this is interesting because that is basically the wild men are what? Feral humans. Basically, they are related to us. And they are kind of like feral humans. Humans that are not domesticated. They are not domesticated. So, think about that. And those undomesticated beings have different abilities than us. So when we let ourselves be less domesticated and not so tamped down, we may have some of those same abilities. And I am told that we will. This is not impossible for us. We and them, we're related. With the right mindset, the right training, the right energy, we can do everything they do, including blend in, disappear, mind speak, everything. all the same. Live in the woods. Go live in the woods. Maybe you should study up on how to go live in the woods. Boy, that would sure surprise her, wouldn't it? Say, yeah, I've been, maybe you should go and find some place to build yourself a place and go to the woods. When things are getting hard, go to the woods for a little while and I really am looking forward to that. I know that I'll need to be more physically able, and I know that they're gradually going to make me more physically able. They're going to help me get more physically able. So I know that that's going to happen. I am all that. I have the ability to do everything I need to do. Let's say it that way. Sure, let's practice. I am able to do everything I need to do to achieve my dreams. I'm able to be everything I need to be to achieve my dreams, to achieve what I want in this life, to achieve my purpose, to fulfill my mission and missions. I've already healed quite a bit. I mean, I am so much better than a few years back. I mean, honestly, even when I look at pictures, it's quite obvious. And let me tell you another benefit. As you heal yourself, raise your energy, you're going to look better. You're going to take better care of yourself. You're going to eat better food. You're naturally going to want to eat better food. You're naturally going to want to take care of yourself better. Your enhanced energy is going to make you look better and look younger. I look younger now than I did 10 years ago. If you ask me, I saw some of my videos from 10, 13 years ago. I look better now. My energy's better. Aloha, Drum Stud. How's it going? Andy Groove. How you doing, Indy? Ah, you missed some good stuff. Missed some channeling. Mac here is our newest member. He's recently had a loss, but it's going to set him on his way, on his purpose. Yeah, I'm losing some weight. Eventually, the reason, I guess, what I am being told is, the reason the Pleiadians look so beautiful is their energy. They take good care of themselves. Their energy is high, vibrating high. You will look better when you are healthier. The healthier you get in your mind and your body, the better you'll look. And the younger you'll look. So if we can clear all of that gunk, we can age in reverse, basically. That's what I'm doing. Cool, Indy. Yes, I do want to say, Mac, You're going to want to look into, if you can afford it. Now, I don't know what your situation is. You're going to want to look into things like Ormus. I've done some shows about Ormus. Ormus, gold Ormus, is one of the supplements that helps you get back your abilities, because it enhances the connectivity between your cells, which means the communication works better, which means you can literally think better. Your brain communicates with itself much better. And you become much more able, like, honestly, I used to get the worst brain fog, and sometimes when I get low energy, when I'm tapped out, I still get that brain fog, and it's horrible. But you can actually get rid of that for the most part. And but it makes your cells communicate better. When your cells communicate better, you feel better. So some Ormuses are different. Some of them are more body, some of them are more spiritual. I have been taking Ormus every day for a while now. I'm much better. Everybody can tell when I don't have my Ormus after a while. It takes a while for it to wear completely off, but if I don't have it for a month or so, I am a different person. People can tell. My helper could tell. She's like, you need to get back on that. Mary! Okay, sweetheart. It's a jolly holiday with Mary. So you're going to want to read up on Ormus, O-R-M-U-S, gold Ormus. You want the real gold kind, not a lot of other stuff. Real gold kind. It's not cheap, but you can find some decent brands. I just reviewed a brand that's not too expensive, that's less expensive than some of the other brands, and I can still get behind it. So I do have a review, but I Am Joy is a good brand. I found that to be a good brand. Atomic Ormus is gone, unfortunately. Something happened with Atomic Ormus, but now there's another brand. Doggone, I can't remember. It's a lot like Atomic Ormus. But sometimes somebody complains about it and they have to change things. Unfortunately, I saw a video that was really sickening. They had all of this raw milk products, butter and stuff, and the government was coming in and making them throw it all away, and here it was helping millions of people. Helping thousands of people in the community live better, and they were throwing it away for health reasons. Horrible. I have not used the powder yet. I am thinking of getting some powder pretty soon and trying that and some stuff. For other things I will recommend too is to get you some diatomaceous earth and put a pinch of that in your food or drink daily to get rid of parasites, because we have parasites without knowing it in us. I don't want to scare you or gross you out. It's just a fact. And if you get rid of your parasites, it helps a lot too. but everybody's got them to some extent. But diatomaceous earth will help you get rid of them. And I've given some to my little boy here. It's helped him a lot. So every now and then I give him some. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking maybe I should do it every day. Things are being the way they are. But I make sure he's got really good food now, so he's not exposed to the same crap. Yeah, they're cracking down on all food suppliers. And you know what? Yes, that is true too, Mac. That is true. We are now in the majority as far as that's concerned. Yeah. The powers that were, like I said, the smart ones are gone. They left the not so bright ones behind. And to fend for themselves. Oh well. And they thought they were going to be spared. That's why they're in such despair and they're in such disarray and they're looking so fucking crazy. Pardon my language, but they are. They're looking crazy. I mean, geez. We have got such a clown world going on now, more than ever before. Yes, we do, Mac. We do have it. That's why I say every show, don't forget you're divine. You have a spark of God within you, therefore you are divine. You are the offspring or the creation of the divine, and you are therefore divine. And this is the message that I believe is the true gospel, the message that people really need to hear. Because the message that you're doomed to go to hell if you sneeze wrong or if you do the wrong thing, I think has been very destructive, and we've seen what it's done. But it was foisted off by people who do not have love in their hearts. So the real message is you're God in a body having human experiences, and God loves you. God is love. God is consciousness. God is with you always. You cannot get back to God because you cannot get away from God. God is everywhere. Just not the way that people are taught to think of it. See, that's why when people say, are you a Christian? It's like, probably not the way you're thinking. Not the way you're thinking. Because people just have this. And think about that, though. What is that telling people? Yeah, happy August. Yeah, we are in August now. Month 8. I mean, what is that telling people, though? You know, I mean, first of all, they're going to tell you that somebody had to die for your sins and suffer. And that somehow, by doing that, you're okay now. But unless you do things wrong, and then you're going to go to hell forever. Does that even make any sense? It never made sense to me. It's like, Is it or ain't it? I mean, are we okay or aren't we? I mean, what's the deal here? It doesn't make any sense. And if it doesn't make any sense, it's probably because it's bullshit. How many people have asked that? Why would God do that to people? Well, because God is not doing that to people. Why would a loving God have something like hell? Because he never did. God never did that. He, she, it, them, all of us, the omnipotent, never did that. They didn't do it. Somehow we created that out of our misunderstanding, out of our wounding. Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, it's like, if it doesn't make sense, it's because it's because it's bullshit. It makes absolutely no sense. No, of course God would not be sending innocent people into hell just because they violated something. That's ridiculous. When you look at it from the outside, it's quite obvious. What good would that do? Anybody, ever. Especially if you only had one life to get it right. What are the odds? I mean, think about that. You're told you only have one life to get it right. If you get it wrong, eternal damnation. What the heck? What are your odds of getting it right? What is that telling people? Doesn't make any sense. Nope. Nope. So anyway, we're supposed to write down what we want. We're supposed to write down the quote-unquote search terms. What we're looking for our lives to be like. I'm wondering, some of us can code in the Matrix. I'm wondering if we can build some kind of app or something that equates to an app. Of course, it isn't an app like, but it is the idea of an app. I bet we could. All it is a string of code. And our soul knows the code, the way to code. Our higher self knows how to do that. Yeah, no one's perfect, so how in the heck are you supposed to get that right the first time without even knowing what you're... it's like, no, that is so impossible. How would you set the odds like that for somebody? That's horrible. And then expect them to get it right? Are you kidding me? Who gets it right the first time, ever? Anything. You try to walk and you fall down a few times? What the heck? That wouldn't make any sense. It's not like any other kind. And 3 dudes do not make babies. I'm sorry. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost don't make a baby. Okay? A male and a female side of life. A male and female side of creation. That makes life. The polarities, the male and female polarities. That makes life. That's what makes a life. Not all one way or the other. That's how it makes it on this plane. And if we're in the image, if we're made like God in any way, then it would have to be also true. That God would have to be male and female, have a male and female side, even as we do. And we know we have that in our psyche, a male and female side. Therefore, God must have that too, in order to have balance and in order to create. Because that's how creation happens. It is with those two energies, and they're energies. They're not, on this plane it's very physical, although there are some people that still haven't figured this out. It's a very physical thing. But in other realms it's energetic. Will you be a guest on my buddy's podcast? Me? Sure. Who's your buddy? Sure. Let me know who that is. I'm not that hard to get a hold of. I'm motiondiana@gmail.com. Although, let me know that you're sending me something so that I can look for it, because I don't check my mail all the time. So if I'm on here and you're going to say you're going to send me something, I'll start looking for it. Rob Khalil. Okay. Goku Galloway. Well, I'm motiondiana@gmail.com. But let me write you down. Goku, huh? Hope I get it right. Goku Galloway @gmail.com. Okay. I just told you what it is. It's Ocean Diana. How do I even chat? It's not letting me. It's ocean, like the ocean, you know. And Diana, like the goddess. Ocean Diana @gmail.com. Does one of my other mods have my... Can one of my mods please type it in chat form? Thank you, Kitty. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'll be looking for Goku Galloway. Yeah, that is correct. And will be very interesting to see how this goes. What kind of show does he have? Okay. I'm going to look for it after the show's over, because I'm on my phone and my tablet isn't working. I'm having issues with tech again, but that's pretty typical of... We're coming up on a Mercury retrograde. That's pretty typical. Okay, I'll be looking for your email in my mail. I got it written down here. And we'll establish contact, and we'll go from there. Esoteric, okay. That's good. It's always good to know more folks like us. And doing collabs with them. Doing collabs with John. I'm hoping to get to the point where I can do some collabs with John because we get along really well. And yeah, it would. Thank you, Derek. So basically, we're going into a time when it's going to be very tumultuous, but we're going to be protected and helped. Please don't let yourself fall into fear. If your energy's down, you need to do some stuff to get it back up. If your vibe is down, you need to do things to take care of yourself and get it back up. This is not the time when you want your guard to drop. They're going to go nuts out there, okay? They're going to be going nuts because this is going to hurt them. And you know who I'm talking about. This is going to hurt them because we're going into Mercury retrograde. Everything they worship is going to be turned upside down for a while. It's going to be for a while. Okay? Remember, Mercury retrograde. I got a video about this. You can look it up on my channel. I talk all about the Mercury retrograde, what it does, what that time is, okay, like, okay, it's everything. Everything is rerun, redo, rethink, everything. Renew, anything with a which might tell you something about, so anything, recreation, everything. That's right, Microsoft has been hacked. That's another thing. Please be careful if you're traveling. It's going to be weird. There's going to be a lot more of that kind of thing. I'm seeing it already. I'm hearing it and seeing it. The airlines are going to have trouble. Different things are going to have trouble because of the and I think there'll be another hack attempt. I also think there will be another attempt on Trump. I think now it's interesting because when I listened to John Tittle, he got the same thing I did. I think it was John. No, it was April. It was Elizabeth. EA. EA got the same thing I did, that they were going to use poison when the pow didn't work. But the problem is it's not public enough. And now here's another thing. That was televised live. So they wanted a live execution. They're going to be looking to do that again. They're going to be looking again to have a live televised execution, because that would not only send a message but also harm people, have a certain vibration to it. It was meant to be very shocking, and just like Kennedy's assassination did to people. It was meant to be like that. So the fact that he lived was a real bummer for them, but it's going to keep happening like that for them, because their time is up. So all of the stuff that they do like that is not going to come to fruition the way they want it to. None of it's ever going to work right for them again. It's all going to go south. Every single thing they do. I just feel kind of sorry for the family of the fire chief that lost his life. But his ghost said he'd do it again in a heartbeat. Of course he would. He's a firefighter. He has long since made peace with giving his life for others. He was giving his life for his daughters and wife. He threw himself in front of that bullet to protect his daughters and wife. He is a hero, and we should always remember him. Corey, thank you. Thank you for all your contributions on this plane. We know that you're one of us. Oh, yeah. Yeah, more attempts. Absolutely. There's going to be more attempts. They can't afford to have him get back in office. They can't afford it. But it's all going to go so south because we're going to the Mercury retrograde. Oh my gosh, is it going to go south for them? It's going to be so, because they rely on all that stuff, and it's like, oh no, no, dear, no. Nope. No. Oh. Mercury is going to throw a monkey wrench in every doggone thing they try to do. Yeah, I would expect them to go pow themselves in the foot, which they did, honestly, with that. If you think about it, they kind of, they made things even, they made him far more popular, actually, and more relatable. Everything they're doing is making him more popular and more relatable. It couldn't be going more south for them than it is. It's going so far south that I don't know. They're never going to get it back on track the way they want it to be. Yeah. Well, I guess when we're writing down things that we want, we're going to write down that we're living in a world where our leaders are sane and responsible and intelligent and wise, and where life is good, basically, and we're not living in clown world anymore. That's on us. Because the predictions are not really predictions on The Simpsons. The Simpsons are the plan. They're telling us what the plans are on The Simpsons. That's why Lisa was see, they screwed up. The disastrous Trump turn that Lisa, Lisa is like the first woman president, the disastrous Trump term. Trump's term wasn't disastrous. Biden's was. And that's where they're inheriting the deficit. Because she says, the terrible deficit we inherited from the Trump presidency, and it's like, no, that was Biden. So they got it wrong. They messed it up. It'll never be right for them again. They'll be wrong about the assassination, too. Another attempt will happen. It won't work. Why is it a rule to tell the plan? You know what? There's a lot of speculation on that, Mac. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not prepared to make a statement on it. I have my theories, but yeah, that seems to be a rule. Is it because they must incubate it? In our minds? Maybe. That sounds like it could be true. Maybe several things are true at once. Maybe, like The Simpsons, is, you're in a dream state, right? When you're watching TV, literally. It kind of hypnotizes you. So maybe they have to seed that thought into the collective. And then they get the collective to create that event. Maybe that's why they tell us. I don't know. Is there a role where they have to tell us? Maybe. Or is it that they just have to seed the thought so that we create it? Or is it both? Yep. Because we're the creators. You see, the old controllers, they couldn't create. They don't create. They don't create. We have the spark of God. We create. We have a spark of creator. We're the creators here. We're the ones that can create. They can't do it. They have to use us to create. In order to get us to do what they want, they have to first plant the idea in our heads. And we're so darn creative that we'll make it happen. If enough of us have a certain thing in our heads, we can make it happen. So we have a huge effect on our own reality. So they need us. But what happens if we go rogue and say, ha ha, no, that's not going to happen? Well, then you're kind of stuck. If all of us would just say, nope, nope, ain't going to be that way. No, we refuse. We want it to be a nice place. They'd be toast and it'd be over. It'd be all over. But there's still a lot of people who think that, who don't know this. And they still got so much damage to get through. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely do. Without the bonkersness, without Clown World. You guys are really funny. You know what? It's true. Though, yeah. Yep, exactly, Hook. And the karma's on us. Yeah, we did it. It's all our own fault. They can say, well, we only, what did they do? They just gave us the idea. And then we went on and created it all, and then it's all our fault. And then it's like, yada, 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 yada. Well, fuck you. I'm not going to build your shit for you. I'm not going to build my cage for you. It ain't happening. I'm off that team, bud. It's like I ain't building a cage for myself and my people on your behalf. I'm going to build a bridge, or maybe a portal, to something much better. Yeah. Yep. The invisible fence. People call it the frequency fence. What's a fence? keeps things in. If our frequency is low, we're kept in a box. This is our imprisonment. This is what causes our imprisonment. We don't have the frequency to get to a better place. If our frequency is kept low, it's like keeping us in a box, keeping us down on the farm. You have to do something to break out of that box, to break out of that frequency in order to get out the box. And the more that I assert that I am God having human experience, I am divine, and you are divine, we are divine. The more I assert that, the better my life gets. My life doesn't get worse. My life gets better. I'm not cursed because I'm saying that. I'm blessed. My life has gotten considerably better since I've realized that, and since I assert it to other people. I'm gentle with them. If they're very, very set in their beliefs, I try to put it in a very gentle way, but I will use their terminology so I don't scare them to death and say, well, you know, what did it say in your book? What did it say in the book? And there is a part where Yeshua says, know ye not that ye are gods and sons of gods. Know ye not that ye are gods and sons of gods. He really says that in there. It's still in there. They haven't sanitized it out. Maybe they can't. Or at least last I looked, it's still in there. There's other references to that too, and in the Ethiopian Bible it's much more obvious. He refers also to past lives. Much more obvious he taught about past lives. It's much more obvious that a lot of things are way more obvious because they're not missing half of it. We're missing quite a bit. Oh, we definitely have an abridged version. Yep. Are you taking off? Yeah, see, I'm getting ready to take off myself because it's been almost 3 hours I've been on here. And it's getting quite late. It's getting kind of late. I need to get up tomorrow and do some stuff. But I was missing you guys. And even though I couldn't get I cannot get my tablet to charge up. I don't know what's wrong with it. I still wanted to come in and say hi, so. And I think I'm going to toddle off now, too, and I love y'all. I'll be back on when I can, and we'll do some more work, okay? And have some more fun. I love you. I want every one of you to fulfill your plan and find your happiness and find your ideal situation. And I hope that we get to see each other in that ideal situation and have a big party. Yeah. Okay. Remember, truth is where you find it. Hope you're finding some on this channel. And yeah. Don't forget you're divine. I love you too. Well, you're one of us now. You're welcome. Come in and take a load off. Literally, take a load off. It's what it's like. Okay, see you next time, whenever that is. I don't know when that is. My helper comes on Sunday now, so it won't probably be Sunday night anymore. Sunday is probably not tonight it's going to be. It might be a Saturday or a Friday. We'll see. Okay. And I might have some earlier times too.